All right, welcome back. Another episode of Your Relationship Sucks. We got a good one for you today. Gonna be a little bit shorter today. Try to keep this one. I'll try to keep myself in check. But first let me check in. How are you? I'm out of breath.
I'm not sure if you can keep yourself in check, but I'll keep you in check.
Well, I'm struggling to breathe right now, so it's tough. I'm at higher altitude. It's a real struggle for me right now. I walked about 57 feet. It's not going well for me right now, so that's not great. But we can get into it. I'm still excited. I'm still here. I'm still ready to dispense some knowledge for some people who are just making dumb decisions, just have these dumb questions. We're trying to help them, trying to keep them from making the same mistakes that we have. Again, everybody knows the format. I haven't seen it. You have seen it. The audience has not seen it. This is all off the cuff. This is live television. You're going to get actual raw reaction, unlike all the other people who are like, we're raw, but they're not really. Be sure to check out the podcast, check out the YouTube. We appreciate all the subscribing and rating and reviewing. It does help us out. Thank you very much for that. So let's get into it. Let's get into it today. Hit me with it. Let's get into initial impressions. Hit me with it. What do you got?
My 27-year-old female boyfriend, 30-year-old male, made a rude comment asking what happened to my looks from a year and a half ago. What should I do?
Oh, shit. Number one, my initial response is she got fat. That's my initial response. I'm not saying it's a negative thing, whatever. I'm just saying this dude is like, this chick is fat. She wasn't fat 18 months ago. I didn't have the foresight to understand that she could possibly get fat at some point. This guy is disappointed in himself. That's what I take from this. That's what I take from this. That's my initial impression. He thinks she got fat.
So who do you think, who is a sympathetic party in this?
Well, see, now you're going to get me in trouble. But that's what we do here.
I know.
We're honest people.
I literally picked this so you could get caught. I'm loving every moment.
Look, I'm actually going to surprise people, I think. Anybody who's watched this or knows me, I think I might surprise them a little bit. I'm going to say she's the sympathetic one, but not for the reasons that she didn't get uglier. I'm not saying she didn't get uglier, and I'm not saying he shouldn't expect her to not get uglier. I think there's something missing that I'll get into once you read this question, but I think she's going to ultimately be the sympathetic character, but not just because dudes shouldn't say this to, you shouldn't say this to your girlfriend. Not for that reason. That is not my reasoning, but I will get into it after you break this down.
Okay, I'm going to get into it. So, my whole life I have struggled with self-image. Growing up, I had an abusive mother who always made me feel fat and unattractive. As I grew older, I realized that was her own insecurities. I've spent a lot of time working on self-love. I'm a fairly attractive person. However, for some reason, people have always found a way to make negative comments that put me down and make me question myself. For example, a close friend told me that when I pull my hair in a workout band, it looks like I'm balding. I tried to just ignore people's comments, but today my boyfriend and I were talking. I was telling me how I want to cut my hair shorter. He said he liked it the length that it was at, and it was already pretty short. I showed him a picture of how I used to wear it, explaining that this is how I want to cut it. It was when I was feeling the most confident about myself, which was a year and a half ago. I've had 2 major surgeries where they cut into my abdomen, and I've gained 10 pounds since then. My boyfriend replied, "Wow, what happened?" I feel so hurt. He tried to explain that he didn't mean anything by that he messed up and it slipped out. Then he said he just meant I looked like really pretty. I explained that back then was before
This
2
guy's
major
digging himself
surgeries.
out of the hole. He's trying to scramble. That's unbelievable. What happened? I didn't even catch that. You just blew past that line. I didn't even catch that. Like at the start where he was like, "Whoa, you used to be hot. Now you're a dog." Like, I didn't even catch that part. But this is classic dude trying to crawl out of that hole that he dug for himself that he thinks he's gonna get out of. You know what I mean? Like this is the guy. He's got hope. This is a man with hope. That's what this is.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And so what did he say? Where was I? Okay, I explained that back then it was before 2 major surgeries when I had my haircut. My hair was dyed, I had a lot of makeup on, and I was wearing a cute outfit. He said he was really sorry and that he thinks I'm really pretty. I don't know what to do. That was so rude and I feel hurt. Who says that? What should I do?
All right. Okay, all right. Let's be reasonable about what's happening here. Okay. If this is the worst thing that somebody has said to you, right, this is genuine. If this is the worst thing that somebody has said to you in a relationship, you're doing fine. Okay, that's primo. All right. I have said way worse things than that, and I have definitely had way worse things screamed at me. Like, this is nothing, right? I mean, if I'm understanding correctly, the thing she's mad about is him going, "What happened?" Right? Is that particular comment that she's
Yeah,
really
it
worried about?
wasn't like, oh, what happened? You look so much better in that picture. He's just like,
Oh
what
no,
happened? You
I
look
get it.
different.
Yeah, no, I get it. He was like, "What happened? You're now gross." I mean, I understand how he said it. Like, I'm not downplaying what the guy said. The guy, I get it. He looked at her and he was like, "Yikes, you got gross quick. Like, I want to date her." Like, that's what he said, right? Which is offensive. I get it. But if that's the most offensive thing that anybody has ever said to you, like, it's not that offensive. You know what I mean? Now, here's the problem. Okay. And actually, I don't know if I'm going to be right. I don't know if I'm going to be right that she's sympathetic. Reason being, right? My guess is most people. My guess is you in particular. Well, not in particular. My guess is you want to side with her. Is that accurate?
No,
You don't want to side with her.
no,
Oh, that's
no.
interesting. Okay. Do you think most people want to side with her?
I think most people probably do want to side with her. My reasoning actually has to do with the other example that she brought up about her friend, which we don't have to get into it. You can finish your bit first, but it just seems like she's just really sensitive to, like, some people, like, I have friends where if I looked like I was balding when I put my hair back in a headband, like, they would tell me, because they'd be like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like, that's not a good look for you. Like, you look like you're balding when you're doing that. Like, if a good friend told me that, I wouldn't, like, she has insecurities, and she's letting those insecurities affect her friendships. Like, people, like, not everyone, someone says, like, I feel like a lot of comments are going to be, oh, if your friend says that, like, get new friends. Well, your friend's being honest with you. You want people to lie to you all the time? Like,
Look,
even if this guy,
as a dude who's bald or going bald, I guess, um, and people who don't tell you that you're going bald are dicks, right? They're dicks. Like, that's not a cool thing. Like, if you have a friend who's going bald, you don't have to root for it, right? You don't have to be like, "Hey, I hope you go bald." But you can be like, "Hey, you know what? You look more bald in that style than you used to in all your other styles," right? Like, that's an okay thing to say, because people who are going bald can't see it because it happens so, it happens kind of gradually, and you're kind of, like, "I don't want to go bald," and like all this stuff. I mean, go bald, that was like one of the best things that ever happened to me. It's just like, I don't have to worry about it. Like, let me just cut this off, like, whatever. But that's the thing where, like, people are, yes, she is being helped. Now, here's where I think most people would say, first of all, she's saying, "I had 2 surgeries," or whatever. Like, it doesn't sound like these surgeries were like, now she's in fucking traction and she can't move. Like, it just seems like she had some surgery. So whatever.
yeah, but I think they cut into her abdomen, so she might be feeling like that caused extra weight. Like, the
Right,
part
but
that's insecure is probably being literally tapped into.
yeah, but like, I don't know. It doesn't sound like she's like, "My stomach looks gross." It sounds like she's like, "I had 2 surgeries, so I gained 10 pounds." Right? Like,
Yeah.
those two things are not necessarily mutually inclusive, right? Like, one doesn't necessarily cause the other. Now, it can. I'm not saying any of that, but she didn't tell us that, right? Like, she's not saying, like, "I had 2 surgeries and he literally said you can never work out again," right? Or "you can never walk again." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that was the case, then that's different. I think the reason that most people would say that she is the sympathetic one is because they're like, "Well, if she only gained 10 pounds And first of all, her boyfriend never actually said, like, you're ugly, right? Now, he implied it heavily. Like, he was like, whoa,
Yeah.
right? Like, gross, okay? Again, he full on said that to her. Like, he straight up said, you are gross. But
Again,
he never said, like, you're fat or anything like that, right? This is where I have the problem. Or I think most people would say, well, she only gained 10 pounds. And so this guy is being unrealistic, 10 pounds, like that's nothing, whatever, right? My problem with that logic is that she's putting that logic next to the surgery. She's like, well, you had surgery, or I had 2 surgeries or whatever, and so I gained 10 pounds. First of all, 10 pounds is like 0 pounds. Like 10 pounds is like not that much, you know? Now, it depends on how much she weighs. You know, if she weighs 100 pounds, it's 10% of her body, you know what I mean? Like, you know, whatever, but like, it's not that much, you know? So, I don't think that's going to change her appearance so much. Honestly, what I think happened is he saw her when she was trying, right? They've been dating for a year and a half. She stopped trying, okay? The reason I thought she was going to be sympathetic is because I thought he was going to be even more unreasonable than what he said. He said what all dudes think, and probably what women think as well, is my guess. Like, you know, when they see a picture of a younger version of like their significant other, you know, and they're like, oh, hey, remember when you were handsome and like you didn't suck? Like, that was awesome. You should do that again. He said it, right? He just said it out loud, right? And, you know, anybody who's like, well, you don't say that. No, fuck you. Say it. You absolutely should say that shit. If somebody got ugly, you should be like, you know what? You're fucking uglier than you used to be. I'm sorry. Like, you are not as attractive as you used to be. Doesn't mean I don't want to have sex with you. Doesn't mean any of that shit. But anybody who's like, oh, no, like you do you, body acceptance, like all that stuff, that's a completely different thing. That's a totally different thing. Guess what? People get uglier as they get older. That's fucking life, okay?
I was just about to say, it's like an inevitable thing, correct?
Like, people are not as attractive.
We both look uglier than we did 10 years ago.
100%. And that can happen very quickly. So anybody who's like, oh, no, he should fucking this, that, or the other thing, go, guess what? Yeah, she probably used to be hotter. I'm telling you, like, she used to be more attractive. The other thing is, she used to be more attractive when she was trying. That's the thing. That's my guess. He saw a picture of her when she was younger. My guess is she was probably single. All this type of stuff was happening. And this is, and now what he's seen is at least a year of her basically not trying anymore, right? Now, the reason I thought she was going to be sympathetic is because I thought we were going to get a little more information on him, wherein he was doing the same thing. Where like he hasn't tried. And so if he's not trying, then he shouldn't expect her to, right? But if he's keeping his shit tight, then it's okay to expect that from the other person, but you also need to communicate that. You know, you need to say that. But that's the thing, right? Like if you are one of these people who is falling into this trap, then I don't have sympathy for it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you probably got ugly. I don't know. Like, you probably did. I don't know.
See, I don't even know if like she probably 10 pounds isn't like completely losing yourself, you know, like in a year and a half gaining 10 pounds.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. You're focusing too much on the weight. That's why I thought people were going to be like, well, 10 pounds or whatever. I was gonna continue speaking, but. Oh, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. So I was gonna say like 10 pounds isn't a lot. What it sounds like too is like it's not just the weight. Like when she was doing her hair a certain way and she was like going out and she was putting more effort in, it does seem to be like that was her defense for like the difference of how she looked. Mm-hmm. But I wonder too, you know, I don't think that it's just how you look is what people end up being attracted to. Like if he's seeing that picture and she's looking really confident and the attitude in the picture too, he's going to be like, what is the difference between where you're at now and where you were?
I disagree with that. That is like a hallmark, like girl power confidence thing. If I see a picture of somebody who's attractive, they're just hot. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm looking at them and I'm like, hey, you know what? It looks like she got a really confident personality. You know, I'm like, hey, you know what? she looks like she's got all her parts in the right places. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what I'm seeing. You know, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think you can get that from a picture. You know, at least in my experience, like I don't think people, I genuinely don't think you can look and be like, that person's confident. It's just like a normal picture, right? Like if it's like Photoshopped or whatever,
I
you know, it's like
think that there's
professional.
some way people like how they carry themselves, like in a picture, like how they look. Some people, yes, some people, no.
I mean, look, she might have been feeling herself a little bit. Like I get that, like, and that's fine. You know, she's feeling herself, she's doing her thing, like whatever. Like that's fine. And I get, yeah, there might be a little more confidence or whatever. But guess what? She was just hotter. I don't know what to tell you. Like she was just more attractive. She was just physically more appealing. You know what I mean? Like guess what? Yeah, you're probably not as physically appealing. But my whole thing is, if this dude expects her to be as physically appealing, then he better look better or at least the same as what he did, right? Or he better be aging pretty well, or he better have a bigger bank account than he used to have a year ago, right? Like any number of these things better have happened, and he should have communicated that, right? But all these dudes who like have this problem where they like say something, they put their foot in their mouth or whatever, we need to get out of this shit. We need to get out of this shit where your partner can't be fucking honest. You know what I mean? Like I can't stand this shit where people are like, well, you should never say that to your fucking girlfriend or whatever. And I'm like, why not? Like she's a fucking human being. She can hear the truth. Like it's fine. She can just hear the truth. It's not a big deal. You know? Like, hey, yeah, guess what? You look bald. I don't know what to tell you. Like if you didn't wear your hair like that, you'd look less bald. Great. Good for you. Stop being bald. I don't know. Like it's not that hard. You know? Like the fact that we have to lie to people now, that's what irritates me. You know what I mean? Like just what life happens. Like, yeah, you got uglier. You got bald. Like all these things happen. You know what I mean? Like that's the way life goes. That's the way shit happens. So just be who you are. Be confident. You know, she's like, I worked on myself and I did that. No, you didn't. You're still dealing with these other people like saying things to you and you're like letting that get to you. You know, like your fucking boyfriend, he makes, you know, he says one dumb thing, you know, and actually it's not even dumb. He says one true thing. He makes one true comment and you fucking fall apart. Like you're done. You know what I mean? Like that, no, you didn't work on yourself. Like you still need to work on yourself. That's what that tells me. Like you need to go back. You need to have some fucking confidence. You know, like you didn't learn how to have confidence. That at the end of the day, that's what happened. She did not learn how to have confidence. She just pretended like she could have some confidence until she found some dick she could get on the regular. And now that she got it and she stopped trying, and this dude's like, hey, remember when you used to be hot? And like, you know, I wanted to have sex with you more often. And she let that fucking crumble. She should have gone back with him and been like, yeah, let's fucking pull out the pictures of you. Let's see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like that's what should have happened. And not in a vicious way. Not like, oh, fuck you, whatever. But just like, hey, yeah, look, guess what? This is what happened. You know what I mean? You met me when I was 25. I'm 27 now. Like, I'm not going to look the same. You know, and for some people, that shit happens quickly. You know, other people like, you know, like fucking, I don't know, like Christy Brinkley, that she's like 75 years old. I don't know how old she is, but she's like super old. She still looks like she's 20. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm going to look fucking, I'm going to look old in like 2 years. You know what I mean? I mean, like I already look older, but I'm going to look like fucking old in like 2 years. You know, like it's just gone. And I can't get that shit back. Like, what am I going to do? You know? But if somebody looks at me and they're like, hey, you know what? I wanted
to bring up on what you said too is when she was, when you're talking about when she like got self-confidence and she worked on herself, she worked on her outward appearance more, which made her feel confident, which is not the same thing as being confident. Like she just made sure her physical appearance looked the best it could. And then that's where she was getting her self-worth. That has nothing to do with self-confidence. Yeah, and that, 100%. Like what you were saying, I know that you kind of said that, but I just wanted to like really draw out that point that, you know, it's not the same thing.
If somebody says one true comment to you and you fucking crumble, you have zero self-confidence. That's an objective fact. That's just a rule. That's a rule of the universe. You know what I mean? Like that's an actual objective universal law. You know, there's fucking gravity and the fact that you fall apart after 4 fucking words, you have zero fucking self-confidence. That's what that shit means. Okay? Go work on your self-confidence. Go get your fucking self-confidence. You know, I was wrong about this. She is not sympathetic because she didn't actually work on herself. You know, she continues to let this go, but she's tried to convince herself, oh, I'm better. I cured myself. I'm whatever. No, you didn't. And this is the shit you need to hear. This is the shit. And you know what? When she hears this, she's probably going to fucking fall apart again. You know? And by the way, good. Because when you fall apart, you're going to understand like, oh, hey, you know what? At some point, it's going to click in your head. You're going to go, you know what? I was lying to myself. I didn't fix myself. So now I know, and now I can actually go fix myself. And I can stop letting one fucking sentence crumble my whole fucking world. You know? I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. You know? Like, be able to stand up. I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like, just have more fucking confidence in yourself. You know? I don't know. Look, we got to cut it short today. Unfortunately, we'll get into, at some point in the future, we'll get into, like, how do you get more confidence, like, all that stuff, whatever. We got to cut it short. I don't know. This is the first time I don't feel like we did it. I don't think we did it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we did it. I don't think we were able to get into this enough because there's some underlying stuff here that's still going on. But like I said, we'll touch on that in a future thing. But I think for the first instance, it's a your relationship sucks first. We didn't do it this time, so mark that shit down. I don't think that's gonna sell real well, but that's fine. Anyways, we do appreciate everybody listening, watching.
I think that what we learned though is honesty should still be valued. Like if you can't be honest, then you can't be honest. And here we're saying, you know, this was not as good as.
No, fuck that.
No.
We didn't learn that
What
shit.
happened?
What we learned is that this chick is fucking soft, like Sherman. Like that's what we fucking learned. This chick is soft as shit, and she needs to figure herself out. That's what we learned. We didn't learn anything else. We didn't have time to get into all the meta stuff that's gonna help everybody else. We learned that this chick is fucking mentally fragile. That's what she is. She's mentally fragile. She needs to figure her shit out. It's kind of embarrassing. But it's going to be embarrassed in public because then, you know, you can actually work through that. So, you know, I appreciate what you were trying to do. I see where you're trying to go with that, but that's definitely not what we learned, because all we learned is that this chick needs to get some fucking fortitude up in her head, and, you know, stop, you know, whatever. I mean, just stop worrying so much about what other people are saying, you know? All right. We didn't do it, but that's okay, because we'll be back tomorrow or at some point in the future, whatever day this publishes. I have no idea, but we're going to be back. We do appreciate everybody listening and all of that. If you have questions for us, you know, stuff you want to have answered, you can email us at what's the email?
The email is info.yourrelationshipsucks@gmail.com.
Right, so you can hit us up there. Otherwise, please, you know, rate and review and subscribe to the podcast. You can find that anywhere. And that really does help us out. And then check us out on YouTube as well. You know, throw us a subscribe or whatever. You know, all these things help us out. We do appreciate it. You know, otherwise, yeah, we'll see everybody next time. Hopefully try to solve something else with somebody who can maybe take a little bit of the truth that's coming to us.